What is up, and welcome to Loose Beats, where we
chill out and make a beat.
I'm Toby A.K.A. Kushing from the T&D channel. Make sure you check out everything we do. And today I got a new beat for you called Mixed Signals. Let's go ahead and check out a little bit of this before we get into it. Yeah, so we got a fun little haunting thing. It's got some nice little trickly piano going on, and we got that booming, glidey bass coming in. It's a good little movement. It has a almost orchestral vibe to it, like it tells a little story of its own, you know. But let's go ahead and look at some of this. If you look down at your MIDI, you can see our movements on this first keyboard, this mutant keys, and our chords are just, so we're doing this G minor 7, and then that's a augmented A, and then a A major, so it kind of bounces, and then back. And then here we have this A minor 7 and this B minor 7 with a flat fifth, which it's a nice little chord because, like, without that 7, it is a B diminished. But with the 7, I guess you call it that flat fifth. But it's a nice little additive, and also the change from this major A down to the A minor. I really like that because the root stays the same, but it just gives it a little different mode, you know. And so I like how that's coming in. Let's hear our first one. Yeah, and we got those mutant keys have a really nice kind of like old piano and an old house kind of feel. And we double that up here with this Yamaha, and we do the same thing, but just with a real piano. And so, yeah, we double that up when we bring in the drum kit down there just to get that natural feel kind of back to it. And so over that, we've got a couple different melodies. So the one you heard in the intro is this, and it's a nice little moving, kind of arpeggiated thing. It works through... yeah, it's a weird look. And I don't know, it has a nice little movement. It's a weird step up, but I like that there's not much of a pause. You just kind of like keep peeling back, you know, when you hit your top note. And the runs are kind of led by the top notes too. So let's hear what this little run sounds like. Yeah, so we got that nice little, I don't know, maybe some ragtimey kind of feel at the end there. And then our main theme, that da, da, I think it just rides on that out for a minute. But so we got this melody, and then we have this other lead line, which I don't have the vocals yet, but this is kind of what the vocal line will sound like. So I like to, when I figure out the vocal melody, even if I don't have lyrics, I like to get it down just so as a reference, because I'm imagining it kind of like, want you right now in the worst way, always an ugly winner in the first place. You signed up for on the first day, somewhere around there. Not exactly sure, but you hear the, just a little movement. So it's good to have those references if you have the melody already, even if you don't have the lyrics. Because I'll probably end up not using this piano line unless you're singing. So our arpeggiated one will be our main kind of theme. But as we move down, when we introduce this piano, that's where our first drum machine comes in. This one's Hard Knock, and it's a nice little kit. It's kind of has an 808 feel, really thin hi-hats and some choppy snares. But this kick is really deadened, and it's got a little fuzz on the end. It's got a little like feedback, or not quite feedback, but just like a little bit of static at the end there. And you can see our notes down at the bottom, and we can hear what this one sounds like. Yeah, and I like having those little, like, it has some little noises in there that sound like a Zippo and like some metal hitting. And I like finding these little things kind of buried in these drum machines to use instead of hi-hats on some of the hits. And so we've got this Hard Knock running. And then on top of that, we introduce this 808 Flex, which is another drum machine. And it's a straight up rap hip hop kit. Again, really thin hi-hats and sharp snares, but the difference is that long kick, it's got that little bit of reverb on it, kind of a more softer tone. But so that's just running us through our hi-hat clicks. Yeah, so got a few triplets in there, and we got some offset snare hits here down the MIDI. And these offset snare hits really hit nicely with the simple drum beat. And that's always why I end up doing two separate ones. One for tone, to build a tone of your own, but two, so you can kind of offset some of your hits. So you can see. Yeah. And it just makes everything line up when you hear them stacked like that. And so that's doing all of our drum work coming in. We've got a couple lead lines here. We've got an ambient lead that comes in, and it's just doing our main theme like we were up in this piano. But we can hear how that's ringing out. And you'll notice in my velocities down here that they're all in the blue, which is a really low velocity. And the reason is that these leads, they come in real pitchy and real sharp, right? And so you got to have a real gentle lead in, because then your runs will still play kind of off of that velocity of your first note. And so you got to make sure that first one hits really soft. And so that comes in with this piano. You can kind of see. Yeah, it's just accenting that little step there. And so we got that come in. And then down later, we have this Arctic noise lead, which is doing the same work here, but with a little thicker, icier, cold tone. And we can hear it with the piano. Yeah. And so that's going to kind of change up our sound on our second drop there with that icy Arctic lead. And so besides that, we've got our bass. We've got this dark, heavy bass, which was a fun one to play. You can see our movements down the MIDI, but really what's fun about this one is if you look on the track here, you can see our modulation waves, these dark peaks here. And this wasn't from a mod wheel. This came from the aftertouch on the keyboard, which I don't know how to use perfectly, but sometimes it comes out and it will modulate it for you depending on, I suppose, the velocity that you're hitting with it after you've already hit your note. But listen the way this kind of opens up the tone of the bass. On top of that, the glide, so I'll put a glide on it. That's in, if you go in Alchemy and go to your advanced, if you look over here, you can find your glide wheel, and that will make it to where it'll slide for you. And see, this is one that will glide for you, but you can hit chords, and so it'll glide up to your last hit note, but it'll still play the note before. And so it's nice, but you have to be careful to not make it muddy. And so let's hear how that modulation is working for us. Yeah, and so it opens it up and it brings out this weird sound in it. And that kind of made it for me, like I really liked the way that one turned out. And so with that, we've got our beat here, and we're going to go out on it real quick. And this one was called Mixed Signals. You don't know how to feel about how people are sometimes. And that's just real life, and that's real love. And we love you and appreciate y'all watching this. Make sure to check out everything else we do on the channel and on our Patreon. We've got a lot of new music shows that we do. We playing some fun games on there. We got a Discord that's always, up and running and with some new stuff all the time. And check out everything else. Check out our podcast. It's been doing awesome. We've getting people on and off all the time. You never know what's going to happen with it. And make sure to hit me up if you like any beats, if you want to do some work, if you make music, whatever it is, let us know. You can leave it in the comments, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Kushing Prawley, and I will get back to you. And just make sure to keep on living your life. And if these mixed signals coming at you, don't fret. Keep doing your shit. And the shit. Subscribe. We need that. Like this video. And we'll see y'all next week. Go out on this mixed signals.